Well, that big, beautiful bill passed. I guess for those of you who survived COVID, because, he tried to kill us with COVID, telling you that it was the flu and that, bleach can do it and take this and do that. And some of y'all did, and it ended up killing a lot of folks, close to over a quarter of a million. I think over a million. So now that big, beautiful bill passed. And now all of us gonna feel some of that in some form or fashion. Now, you gotta look at that so many people are gonna be cut from Social Security and Medicaid. All of you folks who didn't vote, man. We ain't talking about the ones who voted and voted with a conscience. We talking about those. Let's find our friends. I think it'd be best to find our friends that didn't vote, that voted for him. The Hispanics are getting it real bad. He didn't start escalating that deportation thing. Now he's cutting benefits off. Now you finna really see some true stuff. See, because I'm gonna tell you something. He thinking he finna cut off the Hispanics and the black folks and all of that. All these folks he think that came over here across the country and in these red states like where I live. Really, you finna see some white folks go hungry. You finna see the true meaning of the big, beautiful bill. Yeah, you're gonna see some stuff. Yeah, you getting ready to see it. You finna see by this time next year, I guarantee you gonna look at this video and you gonna say, wow, she was right. The money gonna collapse. It is gonna collapse. Let me walk a little bit down here. The money gonna collapse because we ain't got no allies. We ain't really exchanging nothing with other countries. So our currency is not going to be good anymore. Yeah. See, he didn't bankrupt all his shit. He wasn't happy until he bankrupt yours, but he sold you a diamond, a turd dressed as a diamond. And because white people and Hispanics and other minorities hated that black woman, couldn't stand her, talked about, she was in a catch-22 position. See, because she was doing her job so well that black folks said, oh, she just putting all black folks in jail. Then turned around, if she wasn't doing her job, they said, oh, she just one of them DEI people that was just trying to get a job and she's unqualified and all of that. But yeah, so and keep in mind now, if something really go so drastic, so deep, and where people have to run out of here, the presidents, former presidents, they got a way to get out. You don't. But anyway, so they sitting here. And they said that, she couldn't. No, black folks was calling her Skamala. Well, some of these black folks that was on YouTube and TikTok and talking about how bad she was and stuff and had them bonnets on their head and looked like they were laying down. Oh, you got to get them work now. You got to go work for yours. Oh, no. And I'm going to tell you something. They're going to be posting them field jobs for you now. Oh, now it's finna go through temp agencies now. Not just on social media. No, they gonna, cause see, black folks, they gotta get the black folks back in the field. But anyway, back to what I was saying. It's gonna be so to the point the housing market gonna go so low, they're gonna be damn near giving houses away. They gonna be giving houses away. You gonna see folks living. Remember when, I don't know if you can remember. See, I remember when folks didn't put their folks in a nursing home. or in a facility. And grandmama didn't do this. She was just old, and if she was senile, they made her babysit the kids while they went to work. Grandmama could have burnt the house down, and they was all about keeping it in the family because they had to keep the income. See, now grandmama finna get out their nursing home. See, you finna see white folks do this. They finna get out to get their grandmamas out the nursing home and put them in the house because they got to go to work. They got to find a job now. They can't, all that child care credit, but see, when they was talking about this big, beautiful bill, it wasn't meant to hurt white people. It was meant to hurt black people, the brown people. Because remember that Elon Musk now, he's a nemesis now. Elon Musk said that, hey, he said they were saying that they were going to get all these people, it's just he found all these illegal immigrants getting all this money, all this and all of that. Some of y'all are getting checks from when y'all was children, when they was putting children on Ritalin for being so active and stuff. Now they messed up in the mind, but like I said, he's so busy trying to make citizens or undocumented people criminals. He ain't going in that jail now. Oh no, he inspecting the alligator Alcatraz. He finna do some medieval shit on this. He feel like he's indispensable. He cannot be. He ain't gonna go away. All of y'all that was getting these stamps and getting food stamps, and see, that's why you be careful what you do on social media. You're sitting up here, while he's sitting in office, and you're talking about how you're eating and how that Venezuelan guy. See, that's what they focusing on. Remember that Venezuelan guy that came on and talked about how this is the land of the free. He ain't working, and his babies are getting this, and he getting this, and he getting that, and then they shipped him off. Yeah, black folks getting on there, eating and talking about how, yeah, I be glad when they cut these folks off of food stamps because they ain't doing nothing. Okay, well, now you're fixing you. Better yet, you had so many folks that was saying, I be glad when these immigration folk, they deport everybody. Go on, deport them, send them all back. Okay. Now, it's a house down the street from me. She can't get nobody. She barely getting that house built. It's going on a year now. They slowly getting that house built because can't find nobody. And the ones they do find, they hurry up and go and do what they got to do and go. Yeah, we finna see some stuff now. We finna see some stuff. You finna see folks stealing out the grocery store like never before. They're finna go up. Folks finna lose jobs. Hospitals finna go close down. Healthcare is gonna be and impossible. But see, but see, if you didn't vote or you voted for him, that's what you wanted. You were ready to die. You was ready to go hungry. You was ready to be homeless. You were looking for that new adventure. Well, welcome today to your new adventure. Enjoy.